The night the master's wife closed the door, a slave's shocking fate. Picture this. It's the Deep South in the 1800s, where the air hangs heavy with secrets and forbidden desires. A young black slave named Elijah works the fields by day, but at night, his world flips when the master's elegant wife starts stealing glances his way. What begins as quiet kindness turns into a whirlwind of passion and danger. One fateful evening, a door closes, and everything shatters, leading to twists that will leave you breathless. Get ready for a tale of love, betrayal, and a fate no one saw coming. If you like this, hit that subscribe button and give my channel a like. I remember it like it was yesterday, even though it's been years since those dark days on the plantation. My name is Elijah, and back in 1845, I was just a young man of 20, strong from toiling in the cotton fields under the hot Georgia sun. My skin was dark as the rich earth I worked, and my hands were calloused from picking those endless white bowls. The master, Mr. Harlan Whitaker, owned us all, me, my mama, and about 50 others. He was a hard man, tall and stern, with a whip that sang through the air when he was in a foul mood. But his wife, Mrs. Amelia Whitaker, she was different. She was maybe 30, with soft auburn hair that caught the light like fire, and eyes as green as the moss on the oaks. She moved graceful, like a lady from one of those fancy books I'd sneak peeks at in the big house when no one was looking. The plantation was called Willow Bend, sprawled out along the river with its grand white columns and hidden miseries. I was born there, raised in a little cabin with dirt floors and thin walls that let in the cold. Master Whitaker treated us like property, but Amelia, she'd sometimes slip me extra bread or a kind word when he wasn't around. "Elijah, you work so hard," she'd say softly, her voice like a gentle breeze. I didn't think much of it at first. Slaves learned quick not to hope for too much. But there was something in her gaze that lingered, a sadness maybe, or a spark I couldn't name. The conflict started brewing when Master began traveling more for business, leaving her alone in that big empty house. Whispers among the slaves said she was lonely, childless after years of marriage. And me? I was just trying to survive, dreaming of freedom under the stars. Little did I know, our paths were about to cross in ways that would change everything. As the months rolled on, those little kindnesses from Amelia turned into something more. Master Whitaker was gone again, off to Charleston for weeks at a time, chasing deals on more land, or whatever rich folks do. The big house felt quieter, and I'd find myself assigned to chores inside, fixing a loose shutter or carrying wood for the fire. One evening, as the sun dipped low and painted the sky orange, Amelia called me into the parlor. "Elijah, could you help with this?" she asked, holding up a heavy vase of flowers. Her dress was simple cotton, but it hugged her figure in a way that made my heart skip. I nodded, keeping my eyes down like I was taught, but she touched my arm lightly. "Look at me," she whispered. "You're not just a slave here." Not to me. We talked that night, really talked. She asked about my life, my dreams. I told her how I learned to read from an old Bible hidden in the cabin, how I yearned for the North where folks said a man could be free. Her eyes filled with tears. "My husband, he's not kind to me either," she confessed. "He sees me as decoration, nothing more." From then on, our meetings grew secret. In the garden under moonlight, or in the shadows of the barn. She'd bring me books, teach me words I didn't know. And I'd share stories from the fields, making her laugh, a sound like music. Tension built like a storm cloud. I knew the risk. If anyone found out, it'd be the end for me. But her touch, her smile, it pulled me in. The other slaves noticed my absences, warned me. "Boy, you're playing with fire," my friend Josiah said. Amelia's role shifted too. She started defying her husband in small ways, arguing for better treatment of us. Our bond deepened, from friendship to a quiet romance that neither of us could deny. But danger loomed, whispers spreading like wildfire. The night everything exploded started ordinary enough. It was late summer, the air thick with humidity and the chirp of crickets. Master Whitaker had returned unexpectedly that afternoon, his face red from the ride and his temper short. He barked orders at everyone, including Amelia, who shrank back like a wilted flower. I was in the stables, brushing down the horses, when a house girl slipped me a note. "Meet me in the attic after midnight." My hand shook as I read it. This was bolder than ever. The attic was right under the master's nose. As the clock struck 12, I crept through the dark house, avoiding creaky boards. The attic door was ajar, a faint candle glow spilling out. Amelia was there, in a white nightgown, her hair loose down her back. "Elijah," she breathed, pulling me close. "I can't stand it anymore. Harlan suspects something. He's been watching me." Her lips met mine, soft and urgent, and for a moment, the world vanished. We whispered promises, escape, a life together somehow. But then, footsteps echoed below. Heavy, deliberate. The door burst open, and there stood Master Whitaker, lantern in one hand, pistol in the other. His eyes bulged with rage. "You filthy animal," he roared, aiming at me. Amelia stepped between us. "Harlan, no. It's me. I love him." The words hung in the air like thunder. He laughed, bitter and cold. "Love? With a slave? You're mad, woman." He shoved her aside, and the pistol cracked. Pain seared my shoulder as I fell, blood soaking my shirt. Chaos erupted. Amelia screamed, grabbing at him. In the struggle, she knocked the lantern over. Flames licked the dry wood, spreading fast. "Run, Elijah," she cried. I staggered up, but he lunged at me. We wrestled on the floor. Smoke filled the room, choking us. Suddenly, a beam cracked above, crashing down on Master Whitaker. He went still, pinned under the weight. Amelia's face was ashen. "What have we done?" she gasped. The fire roared now, alarms ringing outside as slaves rushed in. I grabbed her hand. We fled down the stairs, the house ablaze behind us. But as we burst into the night, overseers surrounded us, whips ready. "Traitors!" one yelled. Amelia clung to me, but they tore us apart. The shocking twist hit like a gut punch. In the confusion, Josiah, my supposed friend, had betrayed us, jealous of my favors. He told the master everything. Handcuffed and beaten, I was dragged to the whipping post while Amelia was locked away. The plantation burned, but our world burned hotter. Freedom seemed a cruel joke now. The flames lit the sky like Judgment Day. As they tied me up, lashes raining down, I heard Amelia's distant sobs. But wait, another twist unfolded. In the crowd, a stranger emerged, a man in dark clothes. "Stop," he shouted, waving papers. He was an abolitionist, undercover, tipped off by Amelia's secret letters. He'd come to help slaves escape. Gunfire erupted as his allies ambushed the overseers. Amid the melee, I broke free, bloody but alive. Amelia was pulled from her room by rescuers. We ran into the woods, hearts pounding. But Master Whitaker, he wasn't dead. The beam had only stunned him. We heard his bellows as we fled. "I'll hunt you down." The chase was on, through swamps and shadows, our love tested in the fire of pursuit. We stumbled through the underbrush, thorns tearing at our clothes, the baying of hounds echoing behind us. Amelia's nightgown was muddied, her feet bare and bleeding, but she gripped my hand tight. "We can't stop, Elijah," she panted. The abolitionist, Mr. Thorne, led the way with a small group, 5 of us slaves he'd freed in the chaos, plus Amelia. "Head north to the river," he urged. "There's a boat waiting." My shoulder throbbed from the gunshot, but adrenaline kept me going. We hid in a thicket as search parties passed, lanterns swinging like evil eyes. By dawn, we reached the water, a hidden skiff bobbing in the reeds. As we pushed off, shots rang out. Master Whitaker's men had caught our trail. Bullets splashed around us. Thorne fired back, hitting one pursuer. We rode furiously, the current pulling us away. Amelia bandaged my wound with strips from her gown. her touch tender amid the fear. "I never meant for this," she whispered, "but I'd do it again for you." We shared stories in hushed tones, her unhappy marriage, my chains of bondage. The others nodded. Josiah's betrayal stung deep, but we focused on survival. Days blurred into a grueling trek. We traveled by night, sleeping in barns offered by sympathizers on the Underground Railroad. Tensions eased a bit as we put miles between us and Willow Bend. Amelia adapted, learning to forage and hide her accent. But conflicts simmered. One night, around a campfire, a fellow escapee, Lena, confronted her. "You think you know suffering? We were born to it. You chose this." Amelia hung her head. "You're right. I was blind." It bonded them, though. I mediated, reminding everyone we were in this together. Word came via a messenger. Master Whitaker survived the fire, vowing revenge. He posted rewards, calling Amelia a kidnapped victim. It forced us to split, safer in smaller groups. Thorn took most north. Amelia and I pressed on with Lena. We crossed into free territory, but guards patrolled. In a tense standoff at a ferry, we posed as travelers. A suspicious boatman questioned us. "That woman looks familiar," he said, eyeing posters. My heart raced. Amelia feigned illness, distracting him while I slipped coins, stolen from the plantation, to bribe him. We made it across, but exhaustion hit hard. As we neared safety, emotions boiled over. Amelia confessed doubts. "What if I can't fit in your world, Elijah? I'm from privilege." I held her. "We'll build our own." But the immediate fallout weighed heavy. Lost friends, the guilt of the fire that destroyed homes. We learned Josiah was caught and punished harshly. It twisted my gut. Finally, in a quiet Ohio town, we found refuge at a safe house. The conflicts began resolving, but scars remained. Amelia sold her jewels for funds, vowing to fight slavery. Our love, forged in fire, felt unbreakable now. Settling in Ohio felt like waking from a nightmare, but the shadows lingered. We arrived in Cincinnati, a bustling free city where abolitionists welcomed us. Mr. Thorne connected us to a network, jobs, a small room in a boarding house. I worked as a blacksmith's apprentice, my strong arms useful in freedom. Amelia took in sewing, her fine hands mending clothes for folks. At first, it was strange. No whips, no owners. But we jumped at every noise, fearing Whitaker's reach. Over time, we built a life. We married quietly in a little church, the preacher a former slave himself. "You two beat the odds," he said, smiling. Amelia blossomed, joining anti-slavery meetings, speaking out about the horrors she'd seen and enabled. I was part of the problem, she'd admit to crowds. It healed her guilt. I wrote letters south, helping others escape by the railroad. Lena stayed close, becoming like family. We laughed over meals, sharing dreams. But closure came slow. Word trickled in. Willow Bend rebuilt, but Whitaker's health failed from injuries. He died alone, bitter, his empire crumbling as slaves fled. No revenge came. Perhaps fate handled it. The shocking fate I'd feared, death or recapture, turned to hope. Amelia bore our first child, a boy with her eyes and my spirit. We named him Freedom. Years passed. I taught him to read, just like Amelia taught me. We moved to a farm, tilling our own soil. The romance that started forbidden grew deep, rooted in respect. Twists faded into lessons. Love conquers, but at a cost. Friends lost, lives upended. Yet, in quiet evenings, Amelia and I sat on the porch, hands entwined. That night the door closed, she'd say, "It opened our future." I nodded, grateful. Our story became legend in abolition circles, a slave and a master's wife, defying all. It brought closure, knowing we sparked change. As the Civil War loomed, we fought from afar, sending aid south. In the end, we found peace, our fates woven together forever. And so, my friends, that's how it ended, not with chains, but with choices. Elijah and Amelia lived long, seeing slavery's fall, their family growing strong. The shocking fate? It was freedom, hard-won and sweet. Remember, love can spark revolutions, even in the darkest times. Thanks for listening to this tale from the heart. If it touched you, share it with a friend. Until next time, keep dreaming big.